Yeah, the Dark Conservatarian is a pretty nice YouTuber that you should all subscribe to.
I don't think I want to be called nice by you, Josoman, considering the fact that you consider internet dick stinks like Keepercast to be good people. It's probably quite obvious that you and I have completely different definitions of the word nice. But no matter, because after the end of this video, you are not going to be considering me nice anymore, because seriously,
You done fucked up, Josoman.
DarkCon here, and man am I pissed. So pissed that this was one of the reasons why I stopped my semi-hiatus. Also for the sake of informing those who know little to nothing about this whole shebang. This is a video that is going to go into detail of the drama surrounding the lies and betrayal of someone we once thought to be one of the most innocent and harmless people amongst us, who just turned out to be a serpent in sheep's clothing, Josoman. So my channel has gone a long way, most thanks to S-Man Speaks, Logmouth Reviews, and Bearing to a huge extent, but to a smaller extent, another person that goes by the name of Josoman also helped to grow my channel as well when my channel was smaller than his. Over this time of chilling with him on live streams, I became friends with him, even long after I had outgrown him. So imagine my hurt when all this went down. First, let's start from the beginning. A lot of this centers around Keepercast, a group of internet edgy frat boys who have had a tendency to tease, manipulate, and even bully Josoman. More on that in a minute. I first known of Keepercast when I watched one of Joso's live streams that he called Random Discussions Podcast number 4. Right before starting this live stream, he told us on the Poor Bastards private Twitter chat group that there was a group of friends of his who bullied and manipulated him to the point that he wanted to disconnect from them. This said group was Keepercast. Going off of the information that he told us, we of course encouraged him to disconnect from them as well, only because we cared about his well-being. Ultimately, the decision is his, of course, but friends can still give advice on what kind of people make good friends, right? So ultimately, he disconnects from them right before starting earlier mentioned stream, and all seemed to be going well until it seemed like the entire Keepercast gun invading the live chat, harassing him about his decision, asking him if they could have an invite onto the stream to talk about this. One of them that goes by the name of Tom Ventura even threatened him by saying, quote, "We have your address, Josh," unquote. By the looks of it, this looks like a doxing threat, or it could have been a threat to mail to him rattlesnakes, as Joso will mention later on.
Like one of them said they could send rattlesnakes to my house. And I seriously thought they were going to, because they said they already sent it out. So yeah.
However you interpret it, this was an obvious threat towards Joso. I have no evidence to say what exactly Keepercast would have done with this bit of information, but I highly doubt that this was sarcasm or an empty threat. Know why? Because the Keepercast ringleader known as Topher made a similar threat in a later stream.
Hey, if anybody wants to send Josh any gifts, I'll put his address in the chat here.
Please don't. But you can do what you want, I guess.
Holy shit, what a beta bitch. Rewinding back to RDP4, they finally get an invite onto the stream where a shoutfest ensued between Keepercast and Joso and his friends. On that very stream, Topher revealed a side of Joso that I wish I never heard about as I was listening to this stream live. Topher was accusing him of being a pathological liar, of how he would constantly go back on his word on eating healthy to help lose weight, how he was stretching the truth or even outright lying about what Keepercast would do to him, etc. As this was going down, Joso exploded with an anger that I had never seen from him before and probably will never again. My image of Josoman would never be the same again. I tried asking in the chat about what the fuck was with the borderline threat to dox from Tom, but got no answer from anyone. There was also information omitted by Topher about some personal family drama Josoman has that I can't exactly remember the details to, and even if I did, I wouldn't omit those details myself out of courtesy to Joso's family. As soon as they were off air, Brandon and Joso had a little heart-to-heart about what all just went down. Later, I was invited on and I gave my 2 cents on what I thought of the circumstance and what Joso should do. I turned down the idea of me and him doing a collab response video until the Keepercast drama was all resolved. I told him how I didn't know for sure if I should trust him on all the shit he's talking about Keepercast because of the fact that Keepercast claims that he's a pathological liar, you know? So because of all this, I just remained overall neutral-minded towards Keepercast and whether or not Joso should disown them or not. After that, it seemed like that bit of drama was resolved. I didn't even give a second thought to the idea that Joso had on Keepercast in one of his call-in episodes of Joso Live, as I was watching it live myself.
Which one's the dark Conservatarian? Is he in here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he was just chatting in the chat.
Yeah, that's my friend.
In fact, I don't think anyone paid a second thought to it, especially Conundrum, who was on stream with them shit-talking and not getting angry towards anyone.
You dropped the soap and now you're getting butt-fucked by black guys again?
See, Patrick, aren't you glad that you met these people?
Yeah, these are my favorite guys. A bunch of sarcastic ass hats. I love you guys.
I thought that everything was cool and still remained friends with Joso. Although, as soon as Keepercast did join, I couldn't help but leave because Topher has such a nauseatingly douchey voice that it literally makes me want to vomit.
Oh, hey, Josh. How's your sleep going, Josh?
Anyway,
How's your sleep, Josh? Josh, you've been drinking cum even before I met you? Yo, that's so dank. She got a nice pair of bazookas. Size G bazookas? Gosh, we fucking know everything, you little piece of shit.
I try to get people on the phone.
You haven't, you are useless. No, that's not what it is, dude. It's that if you were a real man, you would just be like, yo, bro, I'm going to do this other thing, but you do this weird shit where you're like, I'm tired. And then you blast Eminem in my fucking speakers, and then someone in my chat sends me a thing, and they're like, fucking Josh is not asleep. He's hanging out with a guy in a Hamburglar outfit.
Everything seemed cool. Until...
Listen, you fucking nigger, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, alright, goodbye. Your friends are also quite racist, I see.
Well, you gotta understand that he has a humor to him.
A humor of being racist.
Anyway, I'm gonna go to that.
You're going to go?
I'm sorry. I'm booked for this thing. If I don't go, then...
Come on, you can't like say to me that you're going to be, you know, here at a certain time, and then... Goodness, I'm going to block someone.
Josh, you better come to the fucking show right now.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna...
Josh, you can't do that. Right, okay, that's the end of the stream, I guess.
It was only the calm before the storm. Joso let himself get manipulated by Topher yet again and just left his debate with Owen to have another shit talk fest with Keepercast. He got dared by him to call Owen a nigger, and just like Owen did last time with Ham, see this video for that story, tweeted screen caps of Joso doing so on private DMs. What I think of this instance alone is that Owen shouldn't have shared screen caps of private DMs. I don't think anyone should unless if you're exposing somebody's criminal activity or conspiring to conduct criminal activity like pedophilia or doxing. Which, by the way, Owen, some honky uttering nigger is not a crime even if it's at some black guy. Everything that ensued afterward is a major shitstorm. Despite Joso apologizing, Owen still shares screen caps of it. Joso takes back his apology. Google It gets involved by making videos and rating one of my Let's Play Spore streams to make it a serious one about Joso's controversy. Soon after this, Lapis, otherwise known as the effeminate degenerate, puts her credibility on the line to stream with Josoman and to try to talk him out of Keepercast and into making amends with Owen, as he was also sharing his testimony of how bad Keepercast is.
Yeah, I was going too far. I was just like peer pressured into it has a major control over my life, and if I don't do it, it'll like, you know, repeat it until I do it, and that's why I did it.
That sounds like a very
what
toxic
more?
relationship.
Yeah, it's very toxic, and I don't know how to get out of it, so I keep going.
Like, what sort of power does he have over you that he's using to control?
He uses he can like, I don't even know if I should be his friend because like he has given my address out. Like he doesn't give the city out.
Oh my god, he doxed you?
Yes.
Well, that's disturbing, and frankly, even more proof of this guy's toxicity. What methods of control do they use to convince you to do it? Do they just say, do it, do it, do it, over again, like they did on Owen's stream, continually coming on until you bowed out to their demands?
I think it's because they kept asking for it, and I agreed instinctively, but like I don't know how to say no to them. Because they're very controlling. Like they're like, if you don't show up, they're like, say I've spent money on you, I got you this and that. It seems like a very abusive relationship.
That sounds like almost grooming, you know. I've spent money on you, now I want favors from you, including like sexual imagery.
Well, yeah. I feel like I should cut them off. It's just like they're gonna be like, they know my address, so like I have fear that they're gonna do something.
You think they'd retaliate against you?
They possibly send stuff in the mail that I don't want.
Like what?
Like like one of them said they could send rattlesnakes to my house, and I seriously thought they were going to because they said they already sent it out. So yeah.
So we have this group of 8 men who are coercing, you know, sexual images from an 18-year-old, and you know, threatening them with venomous snakes and doxing if they refuse to give in to their demands. And then
threatening would imply that they didn't already put my address out there.
Yeah, so they've already doxed you to establish, you know, yes we can, but they could also spread the dox around, making it even
they also doxed other people too.
So these are racist serial doxer blackmailers.
Yes.
We thought that he was done with Keepercast for good this time.
Right now I'm writing a tweet saying, I'm no longer flirting with Keepercast.
But we were wrong. A few days later, on April 17th, 2018, Josoman shares a link in the Poor Bastards private Twitter chat group to one of Keepercast's streams, saying of how he supposedly wants to resolve this and make peace towards Keepercast and the Poor Bastards. At one moment, Brandon and Conundrum did join that stream, but didn't stay long when they both joined. We tried reminding him of how bad he kept saying Keepercast was and that he told us he was gonna disconnect from them. But no, he was insisting to go back on his own word, and we felt like he was betraying our trust in him. And what probably caused us to be pissed off even more was that he kept nagging us to join Keepercast despite most of us refusing. He even told me by name that they wanted me to join. I was having none of it. From all the pressure that we kept putting on him to not go back on his word, he decided he couldn't take it anymore and just left the group chat. Afterwards, a Twitter fight breaks out between Josoman and members of the Poor Bastards, where he kept flip-flopping and flipping again on disconnecting from Keepercast, as I guess he was starting to regret his decision of betraying our trust, or at least being so outward about it anyways, but at the same time, for some reason, still wanted to be friends with the Keepercast gang. We also had ourselves an off-air Google Hangout to discuss the new revelations we were just getting about Joso. Conundrum brought his testimony during that hangout, telling of how he witnessed Joso being bribed by Keepercast to masturbate to Barbara Bush.
So, Conundrum, you say that you joined the Keepercast stream temporarily, only to witness while you were there that Joso was being bribed by Keepercast to jack off to Barbara Bush and Stephen Hawking, right?
Yep.
If Rosalind,
both were in that.
If Rosalind Carter dies, oh god.
Keep in mind that this was around the time of her death. Brandon also told of how as soon as he joined, they were just being loud and obnoxious assholes with him. It's from that moment on that we decided the backstabbing, untrustworthy snake Josoman was not joining back in the Poor Bastards. The next day, S-Man starts his own hangout stream where Josoman decides to troll us a bunch of bullshit in the most crackpot of crackpot logic you will ever hear in your life to try and justify his manipulation and lies, and he gets this shit roasted out of him.
Let the rage flow through all of you.
But
I'm
like,
feeling off this rage. I feed it. I feed off it.
Oh my goodness.
Josoman.
An attack conundrum.
Hey,
Oh my
Josoman.
God.
It was
you
so
want
low it could have hit his nuts.
Josoman, wait.
God forbid, an ad hominem attack. Where have we ever seen that before?
Oh yeah, Josoman, you're spelling ad hominem attack on my soul.
Well, what I think is all
I want to say something.
consensus for these.
Hang on, Zach. Hang on. Josoman says in the chat, you made a mistake by being friends with people who did nothing wrong. No. You know what, Josoman? You're gonna.
What the fuck?
Go by your own words, fucker.
The
Josoman.
testimony that you have given to effeminate degenerate? Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so Josoman, do you believe that there's nothing wrong with threatening people with sending a rattlesnake to their house, threatening them with doxing, and, calling them racial slurs? Because you said that all those things were wrong on my stream, and you gave the testimony that those things happened. So here's the thing. You either lied on my stream purposely to deflect blame, or two, you are such a coward and have so little will that you are allowing yourself to be browbeaten by this gang of thugs. It was a joke and it was never doxing. Okay, so you did lie. So you're a piece of shit. You are so cowardly that you would lie on someone's stream to deflect responsibility. You are so weak and so pathetic that even my infant baby sister is smarter than you. Die in a fire.
Josoman, I gotta say this. Why the need to lie so much? I gained subs from this. Well, okay, so you gain subs and lose credibility. Good job. Clearly I'm doing something right. Josoman, the one thing you're not doing right is one, not using spell check, and two, not seeing that the bar is so low you can't even avoid tripping over it. Wait a minute.
You're a cult.
Josoman, wait a minute.
You're a cult.
Josoman, first of all, you like I said, you don't know the words your, and there, and things like that correctly. We're a cult. I mean, we all disagree on something politically. We're all on different parts of the political spectrum. We all come from different walks of life, different viewpoints of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I disagree with all of you on at least one thing. And how can we be a cult when we're so different and so unique, and we acknowledge our differences, and we're able to look past our differences to form, I guess in a case, an unholy alliance? But here's the thing, right? Everyone lies, everyone flip-flop, school shooter. Josoman, that music video you did
Yeah. You call me the school shooter. You're the one with such a low self-esteem right now. You're more likely to go shoot a school than me. Fuck off, you fat fuck.
Very serious mistakes. And
for the failure to stand up for yourself, Josoman.
What the fuck? You're not able to stand up for yourself for shit.
You're not even a shit.
You flaked to fucking Keepercast to join his stream when you were in the middle of a quote-unquote debate with Owen Macdonald. You cannot stand up for yourself, you beta bitch.
Dude, the amount of times Joso lies, like literally, every time Joso lies, he feeds a child in Africa. So, because of Joso, all of Africa is obese.
That's a good one. Going towards the end of it, though, Josoman acts again like he wants to disconnect from them.
Josoman says, fine, I'll disassociate with him.
So S-Man offers him up on a stream to talk about this again.
The Josoman. He wants to stream really badly, and Josoman, I might have a one-on-one stream with you, but if any of your fuckboys come on the stream, you're getting booted. All of them are getting booted, and I'm blocking you.
What was titled originally as a debate stream turned into more of a cordial discussion. This attempt to bring a friend back to sanity would be remembered as the last strike, as soon after S-Man was tagged this screen cap by somebody whom I suppose is part of Keepercast himself. Apparently, Josoman was playing both sides. He deceivingly only made it look like he had blocked Keepercast for good, only so he could try and mend his ties with the poor bastards. Then unblocks them so he could try and still be friends with them. But by then it was too late. as not only had S-Man said in the group chat assuredly that Josoman was never being welcomed back in the Poor Bastards, he also got disconnected from Keepercast themselves. Or at least that's what I last heard about the relationship between Josoman and Keepercast. Before seeing this screenshot, I only thought Josoman was being a schizophrenic, easily manipulated, idiotic, pathologically lying tool for Keepercast. But after seeing this, I knew that Josoman was a big-time manipulator himself. So there might be a slight possibility that the Keepercast is not the group of psychopaths that Joso was often putting them out to be. In fact, I hate to say this, but Topher was right in what he said in RDP4. Josoman is a pathological liar. Taking that into consideration, none of us can know for absolute certain that they're truly horrible people. Even if they aren't, we still don't want anything to do with Josoman because he has proven himself to be completely untrustworthy, therefore a terrible friend, which is basically not a friend at all, much less a good one. Even without Joso smearing Keepercast, I personally still don't want anything to do with them, and I don't think any of the other Poor Bastards do either. They seem rather a-substance. They acted like complete assholes with us repeatedly at multiple times. They still have yet to answer for their threats, or at least borderline threats of doxing, and above all, ignoring Josoman's words about them. And just looking at what I've seen, Keepercast gang lord Topher is a manipulative, by his own admission by the way, jack off with a punching bag of a face and a douchey ass voice that would make a person want to shoot himself if they ever heard him speak. Josoman, why did you think you had to make this whole mess? Was it to try and get the Poor Bastards and Keepercast together to form an even bigger community of YouTubers? Because I kind of get that implication with this clip right here.
I lied to be friends with everyone? Lying is not how you make and keep friends, Josoman. That's like one of the first rules. That's like friendship 101 right there. Motherfucking asshole.
Did you really think that we would like them and all be buddies after all the shit you talked about them to us? If you really wanted us all to be friends, well, talking psychopathic shit about them is not the way to unite people. Just be straight about it. Even Topher thinks you weren't exactly being straight towards introducing the two groups together.
Which one's the dark Conservatarian? Is he in here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he was just chatting in the chat.
Yeah, that's my friend. He's a keeper.
Oh yeah, he's such a keeper. Why haven't you ever got him on the show?
I've tried to get people on the show.
You haven't. You are useless.
And speaking of Topher, just to address his point, I know I can be controlling, but you guys are the ones putting out ultimatums. Topher, as this drama unfolded more and more, this became less about you guys and more about Josoman with his constant lying and betrayal that just makes it obvious that he's not at all a good friend in the least bit. And yes, we told him not to associate with you. I think if a person was told this particular information...
So these are serial, racist, serial doxer blackmailers.
Yes.
About some group that anyone who cared would discourage people from associating with said group. And lastly, as much as I can't stand Owen, I am not sorry about your hurt feelings, but I am legitimately sorry that you got dragged into this whole shit carnival, Owen.
You know what? I'm going to take off the shades and be real here for a moment. Because, honestly, despite how harsh that I am being with Josoman right now, I really do pity him. I mean, the ultimate question that me and everyone else is asking is, why? Why, Josoman? Why did you think you had to betray our trust? I mean, you could have just left Keepercast and kept your trust with us by just leaving the circumstance as it was after that one live stream that you had with Lapis. But you didn't. The alleged forgiveness that Owen Macdonald gave you that I heard from S-Man when he had that live stream with you.
Owen even forgave you, and it's Owen. Like, I was shook. Like, he actually forgave someone. He didn't like hate you forever over it. Wow, that's impressive as fuck.
And the testimony that you give into Lapis, gaining her trust, and all the rest of this, your relationships with us, your ties with other YouTubers to help strengthen your possibilities on YouTube, all thrown away. I mean, especially Owen Macdonald's forgiveness. I mean, as S-Man had clearly stated, he is not a very forgiving person. But all that thrown in the trash because of why, Josoman? Why? Do you just live for the controversy? I mean, if you really just live for the controversy, well then, I don't know what to tell you. Except that you seem like legitimately a bad person, if that would be really the case. But if you really are a good person, which I don't know if I have any real reason to outright say that you are an utter psychopath, but if you really are a good person, then for your own good, Josoman, just get off the internet. I hear that you have created yourself a new channel to give yourself a new start, supposedly. But then you start reviving the drama with the poor bastards by picking fights with S-Man and whatnot, as you and him are just going back and forth with each other. But please don't. Just for your own good, don't do that. Like, do yourself a favor. Take the internet cord connecting your computer, unplug it, chop it up into dozens of pieces with a pair of fucking scissors, and throw it in the trash, because it's obvious that you're not fit for the internet. You constantly betray people's trust habitually, and it's almost like it's uncontrollable for you. It's almost like you have multiple personality disorder, and that one pathological lying side of you just likes to completely take you over or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but it's inconceivable as to why you pathologically and habitually betray people's trust. Not just the poor bastards, me, S-Man, JJ, and the rest of us, but even Keepercast. Like, seriously. But now that I am done getting empathetic towards him, in all seriousness, Josoman, go fuck yourself. I am the Dark Conservatarian, and this is all that I have to say about this whole thing. See y'all later, and God bless.